Was married for 27 years. I'm 50 now. I didn't expect this to be this hard. Being alone isn't the hard part anymore. Yeah, it's high functioning loneliness.
I can't live without my wife. We've been together for so long. I just want to make it right and show her that I will be there to listen. And I know her worth. She has a heart of gold. And I don't want to lose that.
Sometimes it's really hit me that how I messed my marriage up. I was doing the silent treatment, I was guilt tripping, and when I didn't get what I didn't ask for, I resented my ex-wife, among many things that I'm not proud of. But I have also compassion for myself because I didn't know better back then. I didn't know. And what I can do now is just to own it and really feel into and do better, I guess. What do you do?
What's your deepest regret?
The day I had to divorce my wife.
Why is it a deep regret?
That's when my life went into a spiral. I was living life of, just like a drifter, and I'm just so tired of this drifting life. I just want to get my stuff together and just do the right thing, man.
Did you try to patch things up with her?
I've tried, but it was like a real nasty divorce. Today and day, at least I'm able to at least speak to her. At least we speak here and there. So
If you had one message to her right now, what would it be?
I'm so very sorry for everything that I put you through. It's going to be a better day tomorrow. You just wait and see.
Do you have any advice for people who may be going through what you went through?
When you love something, hold on to it. You don't know what you have until you lost it. They don't come better than that sometimes. Yep.
Divorce was the worst psychological pain I've ever lived through, worse than any grief that I've ever understood. I lost what I thought I'd built. My identity cracked overnight, and the life I thought I had, gone. There were days when nothing meant anything, and I wondered, how do people keep going? But a little voice in the back of my head said, if this lifts, you'll be glad you did. And it did lift. Pain isn't permanent, but giving up would have been. And follow me for more grounded insight like this, and save this for when you need the reminder.
In today's video, we are going to be looking at men. Actually, we are going to be looking at men talking about their experience about being divorced. Have you ever been divorced? Did you gain anything from it, or you obtained a setback? You can be part of this conversation by dropping your comment in the comment section. Let me not talk too much at the beginning. Let us get into the video.
Something that you don't hear men talk about is coming out of divorce and having to rebuild their life. Rebuild who they are, rebuild their career, literally starting from scratch. Take me, for instance. Here I am. I'm living in my toy hauler, rebuilding my business from the ground up. I had a beautiful house, 10 acres, horses, tractor, huge shop. Man, it was nice. Would I change anything? Would I do it all over? No. I gave everything I had into that relationship. And there was a point where I had to accept defeat. And I had to move on. Here I am. Starting over. Becoming a better person. Focusing on who I am and where I want to be in life. But it's humbling. Starting all over. But I wouldn't change it for anything. But it's tough. If you know someone, male or female, that's going through that, that's in their rebuilding phase, that are coming out the other side, pat them on the back. Cheer them on. Support them. Because they could use it.
ask y'all, man, how do you get over the greatest woman in this world? How do you get over the greatest woman in this world? You know, the thing that would hurt me the most in this world, if Shantae found a man and he did what I couldn't do, and he did what I couldn't do as a man. Do you have any idea what that do to my soul? Because I was there first, and I failed her as a husband. Let me tell you something, y'all. This woman did nothing in this marriage. It's all on me, y'all. It's all on me. I promise you it's on me. And listen, what she did for me, only God knows. Thank you, baby. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, baby. I destroyed our love we had for one another. We still love each other. We still love us there, but I destroyed our marriage. I destroyed the very thing that I made a vow to you. It was over. Just by signing a paper. Signing a paper. This Friday will always replay in my head. It will always be there. I just made that song and dance. I'm dancing that bitch like it was okay that day. I was so hurt because I didn't know what to do. I was hysterical, like, yo, I'm about to lose my best friend. I'm about to lose the woman that I love so much. Shantae, I just want to say thank you. I have to say thank you.
You don't. Sometimes you don't ever get over them. Sometimes you don't. You just don't. You're going to look for them in everyone that you're going to be with next, though. And you're going to punish the next woman, but you never get over those ones. This is why you have to behave your damn self when you're with somebody decent. Because sometimes you all don't realize that people accept you for who you are. People accept you for who you are. As raggedy, as broke, as dusty as you are. And you think it made your head bigger. And so now you think you can just do as you please. And you can have somebody else better. You can't. That person gave you a chance. As dusty, broke, terrible you are, somebody gave you a damn chance and you didn't take it. And now you want to, how do you get over the greatest one? You can't. Some of us going to suffer for a long time. I'm being honest. You just can't sometimes. And so what you're going to do? The next time that you find somebody who accepts as raggedy as you are, you're going to behave your damn self. I tried telling you all. Somebody accept you for who you are, and you think that you can find somebody better who's going to accept you for who you all need to stop, man. Some of us have already met the best person that's going to put up with our mess. Boy, I swear.
After I got divorced, I realized how much was wrong on the inside with myself. You know, I was not self-aware. I didn't realize how disconnected I was from myself and how that was affecting the relationship. And I didn't know until it was too late, and I fixed all that, and it took a lot of work. And now the thing is, I'm self-aware, and I shouldn't be continuing to make the same mistakes, but all those patterns that I had are still a part of me. I still have this desire for validation, and I still have this insecurity and all this stuff. I just feel like I've fallen back in to all of these patterns and into the cycle of who I was and who I swore I would never be again, you know? And now that I'm in it, I just feel like I'm lost and I can't come back. But I'm going to. That's what I keep telling myself. You know, I just want to be somebody that can be there fully and be fully emotionally available and love my next partner and be loved by them the way that I should have in the first place, and hold my next marriage, my next relationship up to the precious standard that it is meant to be.
During a divorce, there is a party that gains and there is a party that gets a setback. Today we are going to be looking at men. They will be telling us, or they will be giving us their experience in the divorce. I don't believe in divorce. And what I can tell you is that there is always that one party that will benefit from it, and another party will have to begin or to start from scratch. Here today we are going to be listening to men. They are going to be telling us what happened. What happened, what did they do, and you people, we should learn from that, because sometimes we rush into decisions that we would not, or that we are not ready for. So let us always take our time and let us think about something before we do it. Or let us change. If there is room for change, please let us do so, such that we don't regret after some decisions are made.
So I watched a video from another creator last night that made an interesting point. That during my marriage, I was the best man ever. I was the most supportive husband ever. I was the most supportive dad ever. I coached flag football. I coached wrestling for 6 years while my little boys were wrestling. I coached youth basketball while my oldest daughter was on that team. I hauled my kids everywhere for their youth rodeos. We practiced for 4-H shows and rodeos almost every day through the summer. I was their roping coach. I was the one who shod their horses. Was also their horse dentist, and I was the mechanic and the farmer and the initial dog trainer in our dog business, and I was the one who worried about finding the pallets of dog food that we used in our business. I was the one tasked with finding the hay for all the horses and feeding the cows and calving out the cows, and I was the superstar until we got divorced. And then I was banished to my RV trailer in our driveway. And then I was a dangerous dad. I wasn't an abusive dad, but I was coined dangerous. She told the kids that I would be a danger to her if they told me that they were moving to another state before they did. She then started to tell our neighbors that I was dangerous and mean and manipulative. So it's really interesting that while we are married to these highly volatile and manipulative women, that we are the greatest man on earth. And the second the divorce enters the picture, apparently we are on the right hand of the devil. This really is the perfect definition of toxicity. Now, when we are in the storm of all of this, we don't realize it because we're literally in a cloud of cortisol-induced reaction. And it's really, really difficult to see all of these details when you're in the middle of the sheer chaos. But looking back, I can see how toxic it was. I can see how ironic all of it is. It is truly amazing to me how hard it is to see out from the inside. I had a lot of people in my life who were on the outside looking in, and they tried to warn me. They tried to caution me. Because I was in the whirlwind, I couldn't see it.
I interviewed 10 men who were married at one point, and I asked them all what their biggest regret was or the biggest realization they had after they lost their wife, and these are all a few things that they all had in common. One of the gentlemen, who was 43 years old, told me that he wishes he would have spent more time with her as opposed to being so focused on his job, his work, and his career. He was so caught up in his own world that he forgot to involve himself in her world. He told me that he thought that she would always be there no matter what because of the things that he was providing for her. He said that he had to find out the hard way that he was wrong. He believed that she would never leave his side, and he took it for granted. Something else that these men told me was that they were afraid of being vulnerable. They thought that being strong was hiding behind their fears and building those walls. They realized that those walls were just getting in the way of the intimacy between them and their significant other. One of the men even told me that he regretted not being honest about how scared he was of certain things and not expressing himself entirely. And that made me realize how we confuse silence with strength. Something else that I found common among these men was a lot of them told me about their lack of appreciation. They told me that they wish they would have told their wives how much they meant to them every day, how much they love them, and how much they matter to them on a daily basis. Pride was another common regret for most of these men as well. An argument that could have been avoided or maybe dealt with, a disagreement that could have been solved, or an apology that could have healed the dynamic between them and their significant other. Unfortunately, it didn't happen because they let their ego and their pride get in the way. So what I learned from their experiences and their regrets was, don't wait to be real and vulnerable with someone. Do not wait to appreciate them. Don't take them for granted, because they might walk out and never come back. Swallow your pride when necessary and fix the things that need to be fixed. Because when the person you love is gone, it is too damn late. You should have done all those things that you're now planning to do when you're with them. Statistically speaking, on average, men tend to regret breakups a lot more than women do. Researchers tracked 5,705 participants across 96 different countries and found that while women may feel more hurt and pain initially from the breakup, they tend to move on and get over it faster and more fully, whereas some men may never get over the breakup, and that's where the phrase "a man never forgets his first love" comes from. Despite the idea and stereotype that women are more emotionally involved in romance, a 2021 international study found that men tend to experience more pain than a woman does after a split, and this makes a lot of sense when you take into consideration another study that was done in 2024 from the behavioral and brain sciences that indicate that romantic partnerships mean a lot more to men because men tend to benefit more from romantic relationships with a woman. Interestingly enough, from that same study, there was one survey conducted from 1,400 men who dumped their partners, and out of the 1,400 men who dumped their partners, 76.5 of them said that within 60 days they regretted breaking up with their partner, with their woman. And with all the information and data that's out there, it tells me that one of the reasons as to why men tend to regret the breakup more than the woman does is because men have a tendency to be a lot more impulsive than women do. I'm sure you've heard this stereotype that women cannot be trusted to make rational decisions because they're hypersensitive and overly emotional. Well, the data actually shows the contrary. Women tend to be a lot more logical thinkers than men think they are. A clear example of that would be the stock market. Women tend to outperform men in investing because they stay on course despite the rise and fall of the stock market. They don't panic and pull their money out of stocks as soon as it starts falling. Men oftentimes do, though. There's hella other studies that have also been done that clearly indicate that men and women have nearly the same amount of emotions. The only difference is that we tend to bottle them in, which leads us to making impulsive decisions because we have so much emotion built in. A breakup is one of those examples. And why do you think men come back to a woman's life? Because they made a decision that they're now regretting. Women, on the other hand, will carefully consider the pros and cons of what they're about to do, and they make a decision based on something that they've carefully considered. So even though women tend to take a little longer to get over the relationship, when they do it, they get over it fully and well, while men sometimes may never get over it.